Since the 1980s, video games have had the goal of looking more convincing and closer to reality with each passing year. Whether it's wars, driving, even our everyday life, video games continue to impress us with their emulations of reality. One thing that some people would say video games do better than real life is their depictions of sandwiches. And while I love real sandwiches, even I have to agree that these sandwiches look more than delicious. So today we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 video game sandwiches. So without further ado, let's go!
Hey, little man, is the plancha red hot? Huh?
Now, technically these are burgers and not sandwiches, but considering how similar the genetic makeup between the two are, I think it's okay that I include them. The burgers in Overcooked, while quite tasty looking, are only at number 10. Due to the chaotic nature in which they're made, unfortunately it's just too likely that your burger may be slightly burnt or missing a topping. But when you do get your perfect meal, it'll definitely make you want to tip.
Look, see this water? Bang. Is it hot?
When I first started writing this list, I definitely wasn't expecting to have a living sandwich on the list. But coming in at number 9, we have the Durr Burger from Fortnite. He's the owner and mascot of the extremely popular fast food chain Durr Burger, and a formidable foe. Some may argue that he shouldn't be on the list since he's not ingestible. But if we look at another food-based character, Peely, we can see that Jonesy was in fact able to eat him, thus allowing Durr Burger to be on the list. Durr Burger is the original rival of the Tomato Head, and let's hope he continues to keep his business on the Fortnite island for many more years to come.
It's hot. It's hot. Okay. Is it as hot as your daddy's underwear?
When it comes to the Rabbids, you probably wouldn't think of them as intelligent or even capable of having the ability to be good at something. But surprisingly, one thing they're extremely good at is cooking. The Rabbids are so confident in their craft that they'll even risk their own lives to deliver them to the customer. The delectably delicious meal in question? Well, that would be the number 8 slot on the list, the Rabbids' very own sandwiches. These sandwiches, I can only imagine, are more than excellent. If I was given the chance to eat one of these sandwiches, I'd risk my own life too.
Now watch me, watch what I'm doing. 2 slices of ham.
Shaggy and Scooby are frequently depicted as food-loving cowards, with their favorite meal being a sandwich. Well, in Multiverses, they keep most of that, except for the coward part. At number 7, we have Shaggy Sandwich. Shaggy can now pull a sandwich from the ground and use it as an attack towards his opponents. A tasty yet powerfully painful turn of events. While I'd definitely love to share a meal with Shaggy, I don't think I'd want to be on the receiving end of a sandwich throw.
2 slices of cheese. 1, 2.
Typically when you're in a killing game, food isn't the first thing on your mind. But for Yasuhiro, it's quite the opposite. In Chapter 4 of Trigger Happy Havoc, Hiro will tell the story of how his favorite fast food restaurant made a burger so perfect that it was abducted by aliens. And while he has no proof of it happening, I believe his story to be true. And that's why number 6 is Yasuhiro's 100% all-beef burger. For a burger to be so pure that even aliens would want to take a look at it, that would mean that it must taste incredible. I'm seriously jealous that Hiro gets to eat such a perfect burger and I don't.
Big pickles, nice. 1, 2. Now watch this. Take this. Mustard.
SpongeBob is the fry cook to the famous and massively successful restaurant, the Krusty Krab. And for good reason. The Krusty Krab is home to the almost mythical burger and number 5 on the list, the Krabby Patty. The Krabby Patty has reached legendary status amongst food connoisseurs around the world. And while you might think that it being on the list doesn't make any sense, allow me to change that opinion with one simple game, SpongeBob Krusty Cook-Off. I don't think the Krabby Patties have ever looked better. This game makes me wish I could go under the sea and have a bite of one of those tasty burgers.
Now watch this. Take this. Mustard from end to end.
Kirby is known for many things, but the most well-known feature of Kirby's is that he has a belly that never goes full. So like many others, Kirby quenches his hunger by eating food, and one delectable meal that Kirby will frequently indulge in are sandwiches. Coming at number 4, we have a sandwich so perfectly crafted that it can even hover above the ground. I can only imagine that it was designed by the brilliant chef Kawasaki.
This is what makes it a cubano. Take the butter. See that? On top.
Nathan Drake is no newbie when it comes to identifying rare and expensive artifacts. However, another one of his talents is knowing when he's found a good sandwich. At number 3, we have the sandwich Nathan Drake was willing to risk his life for. Not just any sandwich, this Subway sandwich must have been one of a kind, for Nate to be so willing to put himself into harm's way for it. If there's one thing that's for sure, it's that I will definitely be eating fresh when I order my food at Subway. At number 2, we have an entry that I'm sure many were expecting, but for good reason. The Sandvich isn't just on the list because it's a sandwich, it's on here because of what it can do to certain people. If stolen from the Heavy, it can send him into an unstoppable murderous rage. The Heavy will stop at nothing to get his sandwich, and it makes you wonder, what could be so murder-inducing about this sandwich? Whatever it might be, perhaps it's best we don't know.
3 equal pieces.
Let's see what we got.
All right, here we go.
And finally, at number 1, we have Eggman Sandwich from Sonic Unleashed. What can I say about this sandwich that hasn't already been said? It's so perfectly crafted, with each piece of meat, cheese, and lettuce being so perfectly placed on the bread. Its mouth-watering aroma floods the room wherever it goes. I can only imagine what it must taste like. Eggman is one lucky guy with a sandwich that big and delicious. It's a surprise he didn't start selling them. If he did, Eggman Land would surely be a reality by now. But anyway, that's my top picks for the top 10 video game sandwiches. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked the video. Let me know in the comments what your favorite video game sandwiches are. And with that, I'll see you next time. Why did I make this?